So in today's video, we're going to talk about one of the most asked questions of realtors about building a new home. Which home builder should I use? Stay tuned, let's go for the ride. So builders are as varied as the consumers that build houses. Each builder may have a specialty or they may cross over specialties. But in general, builders fit into three categories. You have the production builders, which are the typical homes that you see advertised all the time by the big builders. Then you have custom builds. Custom builds are exactly what it sounds like, where you are actually customizing the house thoroughly to fit your needs. And then squeezed in between that are semi-custom builders. So we're going to walk through each of those stages of builder and try to describe what it is that they do and how they differ and what it means to you. What's most important is that you choose a builder that fits your needs. It makes no difference what the label on them is. Production builders are probably the most common style of builder that you're going to come across. They're the big name builders that you see advertising everywhere. Sometimes they develop their own neighborhoods, sometimes they build together in certain neighborhoods, and the real key with a production builder is they have certain floor plans that, yes, you can add on a sunroom, you can add on a certain type of elevation that they have pre-designed. But you can't start moving walls around, you can't create an all-new elevation look other than just changing the colors and the materials that are used in those elevations, for example. Also, on the interior of the home, some production builders may allow you to make small custom upgrades, such as electrical, things like that. Others will have packages of upgrades so that you have a choice of either a basic home or a home that has this set of packages. Really, it gets really diverse even though we're still in that production category. So we're standing out on a job site here, and I'm just going to show an example. So behind me is a farmhouse elevation that many of you have probably seen advertised out there. Next to that, same builder has created more of a contemporary, maybe a Georgian look. And then over across the street is more of a southern look. Now, believe it or not, this home and the first home we looked at are the same home, just different elevations. So this particular community has 7 or 8 floor plans that are designed to fit into this community. And it's in this particular case, this builder has a series of homes that they build that fit into that category. Now, if I were to go up the road to a different community that this particular builder builds in, they might offer the same series but not the same floor plans, and all of that ties back to things like zoning and building requirements, things that we'll get into in other videos. But just be aware that a production builder, you can make small changes. Certainly you can pick your colors, pick your finishes, things like that, but you're not going to make wholesale changes to the floor plan other than pre-designed, add on a sunroom, add on an egress window out of the basement, putting in a full basement instead of a partial. Those kind of things are going to be standard options, but you're not going to get to move walls. You're not going to get to put in any type of fixture, any type of kitchen design that you want within the home. Don't confuse production build, however, with cookie cutter. So while yes, some communities do have homes that look very similar to each other, here is an example of a production build community that the homes are very different, very different designs. Now in this particular case, they had 2 builders here that were building, and it was every other lot. So that just gives you an example of how a production community can also not be that cookie cutter community, that Stepford community that some people may fear. So let's go to the extreme other end of the spectrum and talk about real pure custom build homes. Now the custom builders range all the way from building a very modest house to building just anything you can imagine. So pure custom build, when I say that, I mean we start with a blank sheet of paper and the design starts coming from what the buyer wants. So we're out in a community called Jerome Village, the Plum Ridge community, and this is a pure example of custom taken all the way up to the elite level in Columbus. So behind me is a custom build. That plan started from literally a sheet of paper, and some of the design elements that are on this are going to be just incredible. Now, also in the same community, right behind me now is a very, very high-end builder, but this is a little bit more modest house. Now keep in mind, we're on the same court as we start turning around here. So okay, coming this way, we get into something a little bit more grand that's under construction. The brick exteriors, the complex roof lines, the drive-through driveway, those kind of things you see in the background here. Now this home, obviously again, designed from custom up. Then we go to extreme. So this home is absolutely gorgeous, obviously. This home has, I believe it was 10 garages and a main house that is huge and very extensively appointed. Now this is the extreme end of custom building. Now let's take a look at something that's a little bit more reasonable, but still in that custom range that's a little bit more affordable for the average consumer. So still here in the Dublin School District up in Jerome Village, we've come down into the atmosphere now and we're out where there's much more affordable and much more attainable custom homes. So over each of my shoulders here are examples of custom homes that could have been drawn from scratch from a blank sheet of paper, or may have started from a general concept plan, but then walls were moved around, interior design was completely changed around, and these are pure custom homes as well, just not necessarily to the extremes we showed in the last segment. So long and the short, even within the custom home builder realm, there are different segments within that. Now examples of that may be that you're building on your own lot out in the country someplace, but you want to take advantage of the view of the farm pond. That would be a custom builder. If you're building in a community such as this, but you don't want that cookie cutter design, you want to be able to accommodate certain specialties. They'll move the walls around and they'll change all of the mechanicals to fit what your needs are. So we've covered the production builder where you can make very few changes. We've talked about custom builders where literally you name it, we can build it. Now what's in between? There's got to be a happy medium where you can still get the affordability of a production builder, but still be able to get the customization that you would like. So now let's cover semi-custom builders. So that happy in between the custom builder and the production builder is the semi-custom builder. Now Manor Homes was kind enough to let us use their model home so that I can kind of illustrate it in a different way than just the exteriors of the homes. So let's come on in, let's take a look through this exquisite model home and see what the differences are. So first, let's say hi to James from Manor Homes. He was kind enough to let us film here today. So let's all give him a hand for that. So this floor plan is a somewhat traditional floor plan that has a lot of semi-custom features in it. So obviously the decorating end of things is something that a lot of people pay attention to. They don't want to do a lot of work after they get done with the closing. So in this particular case, they've taken and put a fireplace in like you would see in most houses, but then they put custom build-ins beside the fireplace. they've put this beautiful coffered ceiling in that, this is definitely a custom home feature that you don't want to do after the closing date. Upgrades such as flooring and putting in this reclaimed wood. Exquisite updates to really add on to the home. But the most common place that people really customize is going to be here in the kitchen. Okay? So kitchen islands being expanded, much more cabinets being put in, and the display cabinets being put up above. Custom light features, upgrading and making smart improvements such as voice-actuated appliances, those kind of things. Those are things you're not going to find in a production build. You certainly can put them in a custom build, but the happy medium in between, where it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, is when you come semi-custom. Now, I have to admit a little bit of bias. I personally built a semi-custom home because A, I'm cheap, and B, I wanted to have those customizations to fit certain needs that I have in my life. So if you hear me kind of rambling on about semi-custom builders, I have to admit I am a big fan of that concept. Now, other improvements that are going to be added, we have back behind us, and bear with me if the auto adjust doesn't work just right, but they've added on this sunroom and actually made this into the dining room. Okay? But here's where the semi-customization can really start to play. So here we have a standard hallway pantry setup. What you could do is you could make this a full walk-in pantry. What you could do is you could bump this wall out and make it into a butler's pantry with a pantry on one side, cabinets on the other. This is what I mean by semi-custom. Now up here in the front, this room is a flex room. It's open space that can be used for multiple purposes. So they've got this set up as a big welcoming area for, obviously, they have it set up for someone that would have a larger family. Okay? This also could be set up as a quick home office or a learning center for kids. These types of changes are things that you might think about when you're looking at the type of builder you want to build, because even though you may need 3 desks for the kids today, what's it going to be when they become teenagers? And if you think about those things, you can plan for that in advance. So now let's run upstairs. That's where a lot of customizations take place. And let's see what we can do up there in this beautiful model home. Okay, so now we're upstairs in this beautiful model home. And let's talk about the auxiliary bedrooms in the home. So in this particular case, we have a walk-in closet that is standard design in this home. However, let's say you wanted a little bit more square footage. You could push this closet out into other spaces so that you're not taking away from the size of the bedroom. You might decide you want to make this closet even bigger. Let's say that you have a craft room need. You may want to make this closet even a little bit bigger, and that certainly is possible with a semi-custom builder. So this particular model was built with a Jack and Jill bath. That's where you have a doorway that passes through to 2 bedrooms. Now, the standard design for this would be one bathroom, coming in off of the hallway. So here are just some design elements that have been added to this room. But here's a key example. Pocket doors. Pocket doors are not going to be standard with a production builder. Quite frankly, they're not standard anywhere. But once you put these pocket doors in and once you enjoy them, you'll never do anything else. So let's walk around the corner here. So typically this setup would be bathroom here, but instead they chose to make it a Jack and Jill bath for sharing with the 2 bedrooms. So next, let's check out another cool feature in this home. So now we're up in a bonus suite. Now you're going to ask yourself, what is a bonus suite? Well, that obviously is a semi-custom feature of this home. So everybody's seen the bonus room that's above the garage. Well, they decided to take the bonus room to the next level and make it either a loft as it's set up right now, or it could be an additional bedroom with an extra bath and a closet, or you could set this up as a pure suite for like an adult who's attending college that's within your family, or a relative that's staying with you that you want to keep your own space. Now, they've created a study area up here in kind of the pass-through area. Another thing you could do here is put in a small kitchenette and move the doorway back to here. All of these are possible in either a custom home or in a semi-custom. So now let's go to the area where everybody customizes. Let's go to the master bedroom. Okay, so most everybody wants to customize their master bedroom. So this one is very, very nicely appointed with some structural features and with some cosmetic features that I really want to point out. So for example, the size of this room, really nice, but it's helped all the more by putting in this double coffered ceiling. Really pushes the room up and makes it seem much larger, even though these ceilings are standard height. So another little thing they did here was they put the crown molding in those double coffers, and you can see the uplighting. Now imagine how nice it would be just to set a mood lighting instead of flipping on the light to go run an errand in the middle of the night. You can just have this uplighting on and it won't bother anybody. Now as I swing around here, this is a structural change. These windows were added to the floor plan. Gives nice additional light, but these transom windows would allow you to put in a piece of furniture here and not sacrifice that wall space. So now let's go to the master bath. Everybody has their idea of a dream master bath. So in this particular case, they've put a beautiful specialized tub in the corner, nice light coming in. Over here we have a large shower with multiple shower heads and a seat. Now another customization you could do in this is you could take this to a zero threshold shower, meaning that in the event you had someone who needed to not have to step over this threshold, they could roll straight in or walk straight into the shower without having that impediment. Many, many people will customize the closets. They will also increase the size of the closet by taking space away from another space that doesn't need to be that large. One thing that I know for sure is no one ever complained about the closets are too large or the master bath was too upgraded. So okay, that wraps up our segment talking about the semi-custom builder. Semi-custom builders, again, just like custom builders, they run all across the spectrum. You can get really high-end builders that are going to build with a preset drawn set of plans, or you can build very affordably. I mean, my budget was not huge, but I was able to build an extremely nice house from a semi-custom builder well within my budget. So this particular home is obviously a pure custom home. However, it's a pure custom home with a unique twist. Very successful builder friend of mine built this home as their own. It's absolutely stunning with a center fountain, circular driveway, drive through to the garages. There's a mother-in-law suite inside and a library that you would just die to sit back and read in. So this is what a home builder will build when they have the ability to really build whatever they want. Now, with that being said, the company that is owned by the person who owns this house can build a home that is in the price point of most consumers that are out looking today in the market. So don't conflate that just because they're a custom home builder, this is the only thing they build. That's not true. They're building homes that are well within the range of most consumers. Additionally, don't think that production builds are cheaper, because it's not necessarily the case. Location drives a lot of that. And don't think that semi-custom, moving around walls, is really expensive as well. When I redesigned my house, literally the structural changes were a few $1,000s. It wasn't, a huge amount. So let's wrap this up with a real simple piece of advice. Get with a professional that understands the builders that are building in the areas that are where you want to live. And then determine what you need for your situation. Nothing is worse than building something today that's only going to last for about 2, maybe 3 years until your life changes. Let's really think about that, and let's work through and create a plan that kind of forward looks. Nobody likes to move, so why move again and again unless you choose to do that? So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a blast shooting it. Please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.